Hey, welcome back to Two Old Crows Homestead. Shelly here, and today we're going to make a wild lettuce tincture. Come along with me. So right now is the time of year that you're going to be seeing wild lettuce growing, and this is actually in my green stalk. I've got two wild lettuce plants. This is prickly lettuce. You can tell by the spines, the little prickly parts that are on the leaf. I've actually got two of them growing out of here. So this one, you see it's got the spines on the back. And if I break the leaf like this, you can see the white latex. That's what we're trying to get today when we make our tincture. I've got a bunch of this growing all over the place, which I need to get this cleaned out of here, which is why I wanted to make this video right now. But you can see there's a big one right there. There's some of it, actually that is thistle right here that's growing right there. But this with the big leaves on it, the lobes like this is wild lettuce. And that's what I'm going to be gathering and cutting to make a tincture. So I'm wearing gloves to get this, just because it has all those spines on it, and I'm not really into getting pricked by a plant. But let me see if I can show you down here where it's at. This is what I'm looking for. And this is a pretty good sized stalk. I'm going to cut it off down here. This white stuff that's coming out of the bottom of this is the latex, and that's what I'm looking for. It's a pretty good one. This is in my garden area, so the dogs haven't gotten in here and messed with it or anything, or peed on it. I don't want anything that's happened to, right? I'm looking around here to see if I can find any more. Looks like there might be one down here. Yep. So let me show you the difference. These look very similar. This right here is sow thistle. You see how the leaves look here? This is prickly lettuce, and the leaves are not as, these kind of look spiny, these don't. You do have the spines that are underneath the leaf on this part, but that's what I'm looking for. My potatoes are back there doing pretty good. I'm gonna have to come out and do some weeding. My whole bed that has my asparagus in it, the asparagus is huge. I don't know if you can see the top of it, but there's even some vetch growing in here. Let me see if I can show that to you. This right here with the purple flower and the leaves that look like that, that's vetch, and it's great for your animals. High protein, all of that kind of stuff. It's great to get that out of there and feed it to your animals. And that grows wild in a lot of places. I was over at Jason's this last weekend. We went over there to pick some strawberries because his food forest, oh my God. He's getting the strawberries that we picked this weekend and that he's picked so far this season. I believe he told me he's gotten like 29 gallons, maybe 25. Somewhere between 25 and 29 gallons of strawberries. That's crazy. But we found some vetch on his property. We were looking it up and trying to figure out, the stuff about it. And I remembered Renewed Homestead did a video once talking about weeds that are good, that you need. And they had vetch, and she was talking about, feeding that to her animals and stuff. right there, you see that plant right behind me with the tall stalks coming out of it right here? That's longleaf plantain. That's another good one to have around. You can make some salve out of that. I'll probably do a video talking about that. I dropped one of my things. Here is some more prickly lettuce. So I want to make sure I can fill my jar up, so I'm going to get some more. I need to come out and see if I can use that sow thistle for something before I get rid of that. So, right behind me here, you see I've got volunteer potatoes growing up in that bed. I've got to come out and clean the rest of this stuff out to put my cucumbers in there. We've gotten tons of rain, and it's making the weeds grow like crazy. Not my tomatoes so much in that bed. That's frustrating. All right, so let's gather up all of this prickly lettuce and go make a tincture. All right, so I have a 1/2 gallon size mason jar that I'm gonna put the prickly lettuce in. I've also got, this is probably a 1/2 gallon size. Y'all, I don't know alcohol sizes, I don't know. This could be a 1/5, it could be a 1/2 gallon, it could be a whole gallon, I'm not sure. It says that it is, I don't know, it doesn't say. Maybe it does somewhere and I'm just not. It says it's 1.75 liters, however much that is. But anyways, I'm using 100 proof vodka because that's what I use for all of my tinctures. It's just easy, you don't have to calculate the water stuff and everything. I'm also using fresh plant matter. I'm not drying it. Let me put my other glove back on. And I'm going to chop this into small pieces. Now I'm going to take off, I don't really want these brown ones, so I'm going to take those off. Let the chickens have them. Don't be coming over here eating my lettuce, man. What are you doing? Eat that one. I got a chicken over here trying to take my lettuce. Yeah, eat that one. So I want to cut these with the stem and everything into small pieces because I want to get as much of that white latex as possible. I have seen some places where some people will put these into a food processor and chop them into little bitty pieces. I'm not doing that. I'm just cutting them into small pieces, letting them fall down in the jar. But I do want to get as much of that white latex out as possible. So why would I make a tincture out of wild lettuce, you might ask? Back a long time ago, my pigs sound like they're losing their mind back there. Back a long time ago, the Cherokee Indians actually used this as kind of a nerve tonic. But they also used it for pain relief. My son-in-law actually, he's the one that got me started looking into this because he said that he had read somewhere that wild lettuce was almost as good of a pain reliever as, you know, like Tylenol and stuff like that. And they used to call it lettuce opium. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know if it's as strong as opium. I don't know that it would be a good idea if it was as strong as opium. I think that if it was that strong, there'd be a lot more people doing this, right? But it's not that prickly. But that's why I'm doing this. I want to make some kind of pain reliever that's all natural. In case we need it, it would be a good thing to have in your preps, right? So let me get all of this cut up and I'll be right back. Okay, my dog just got a bath. What are you doing? He was smelling really bad. He got out and rolled in something and now he's getting me wet. Will you go lay down? Come on, go lay down. So I've got my jar full of wild lettuce, wild prickly lettuce. So there's, you know, there's different varieties of wild lettuce. You've got wild lettuce that doesn't have the little prickly spines on it. You've got wild lettuce that does have the prickly spines on it, which is what I've got. And they can all be used kind of interchangeably, but you want to make sure that you get that it's the latex that you're after. That's what has the medicinal properties of this, for the purpose that I want, that, you know, for the pain relieving. When it got down to the end, my pieces in here, they're like about that big. They're not huge. I just kind of ripped them up. I did cut the stalks. You can kind of see in there. I did cut the stalks probably about anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 1 inch long, just so that it can get in there and easily get to that latex. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to fill my bottle up with vodka. And I'm going to let this set for approximately 6 to 8 weeks in my pantry in a cool, dark place. And I'm going to fill this up. Let me put this down so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to fill this up all the way to the top. You don't want your plant matter packed in there so tight that you can't get any vodka in there. If you did that, then when you go to strain this off, I'm getting ready to be overrun by chickens, FYI. When you go to strain this off, go on. You're not getting the vodka. Go on. If you pack it full of plant matter, like super tight, you're just not going to have any room for the vodka, and then you're not going to have a tincture when you go to strain it. So you want to make sure that you leave some room for that. This is probably going to take my, so I guess this is a 1/2 gallon. It's getting up there. Okay, where's that? So like I said, I'm going to pour this all the way up to the top. And there we go. Now I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to put this in my pantry. There's some air bubbles coming up, so I may need to open it up in a little bit and fill it back up with some more. And there's a little bit leaking out, so I need to wipe that down. I'm going to put the date that I picked this and put it in here, that I started it, because I want this to set for, like I said, 6 to 8 weeks, and then I'll strain it off. And yeah, that's how you make a tincture of wild lettuce. The other dog just got a bath, so he's losing his mind right now. Okay, so I wanted to, if any of you all, so this is the Peterson Field Guide to Medicinal Plants and Herbs of the East and Central North America. So this kind of, I live in South Central Kentucky, so this, you know, encompasses that area. So according to this book, which I told you why I'm making this, I want to have some kind of pain reliever that I can have on hand that is all natural and, you know, something that's easy for me to make. Right now, I want to test it to see if it actually works, and that way I know going forward, if I want to make some of this, or I need to make some of this, I know what plant I'm looking for, I know what I need to have to do it, and I can have it on hand in case there's a time that we can't ever get stuff like this. It says that it has flowers that are dandelion-like heads. It grows anywhere between June and October. It can be found in thickets, roadsides, wet soils, much of North America. So the uses, it says Cherokee and other Native American groups use plant tea as a nerve tonic, sedative, and pain reliever. The milky latex from the stem is used for warts, pimples, poison ivy rash, and other skin irritations. It was used similarly by settlers, and the milky white juice of this and other lettuces, wild and tame, have been used to make so-called lettuce opium. Now the book says, it says that lettuce opium has actually been sold as a sedative in the U.S. The author of the book says, we suspect it might make a better substitute for rubber than the opium. So I don't know, we're gonna give it a try. It does have a warning in here though. It says this species and other Lactuca species may cause dermatitis or internal poisoning. I'm going to tell you this. Whenever you do something like this, I've not been to school to learn how to do herbalism or anything like that. I am learning this as I go. I research it. I talk to a lot of people who do this. I know a lot of people who use herbal medicine and make herbal medicine and even sell herbal medicine. I find out from them best practices and that kind of thing. I'm always researching this. I'm not going to give anything to my family that I think will hurt them. You should do the same. Don't watch this video and be like, oh well, Shelly knows, you know, all this stuff about this. Shelly, I am researching this for my family. If you want to make wild lettuce tincture, if you want to make comfrey salve, if you want to make calendula salve, or do an earache, you know, oil or whatever, you need to research that. You need to find out what the best thing is for your family. When I went to the Midwest Preparedness Project, when was that? The beginning of May. I met Lisa from Silver Lining, and Lisa is an herbalist. She's also a nurse, and so she makes tinctures and salves and all of that kind of stuff, and she's much more knowledgeable in this stuff than I am. And she told me, she gave me a tea that, and I'm not really a tea drinker. When I think of tea, I think of like sweet tea or whatever. I don't like tea. But anything that you make with dried plant matter and you heat it up in, you know, warm water, and it draws those healing properties, those nutrients out of that plant matter into that tea, and you ingest it, that's a tea, right? So she gave me this one that's supposed to be one that kind of calms you down, helps you fall asleep, kind of thing. And on the packet it says that there's 4 servings in there. So, you know, I was like, okay, so I take a quarter of this. And she said, do you drink herbal teas? And I said no. And she said, then no, you don't take a quarter of this. Use like a teaspoon full. Take that, see how you react to it. She said that it's entirely possible that there's something in there, there's an herb in there or something that maybe I haven't ever taken before that I'm allergic to and I don't even know. And she said, when you're doing this, it's better to take, you know, small doses and figure out what works for you, build on that, whatever, and go from there. Don't go in, you know, from somebody that's been using it for years and years and years and think that it's okay for you to take whatever they're taking. And the same, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Come on, I know.
Go sit down. You're getting ready to knock my bottle over. I know you just had a bath. I know. You're tripping, dude.
You don't want to brush, but it needs to.
Go!
Socks! Sorry.
Come on, go. Go over there and play.
Socks, I don't want to go.
Good Lord. I have another herbal book that I've talked about on here before. I think it was on my Mullen video. I can't think of the name of the book, but it's written by Dr. Green. And in that book, it has a section about dosages. And it says that it's better for you to start with a minute dose and build on that than to, you know, be like, okay, I need to take a tablespoon of this, or, you know, 8 milliliters of this. It's better to start with something small and build on it and see how you react to it than to jump in. So just make sure that when you're creating your own herbal remedies, and you know, obviously this is something that I'm interested in because I'm doing it and I'm making videos about it. Make sure you do your research. Make sure that you're looking at that, especially if you're giving doses to children. Obviously, even when we go to the doctor today, they prescribe antibiotics and all of anything that they give to you based on your weight, right? I remember, you know, taking our daughter to when our oldest daughter was really young, she had a lot of problems with ear infections. And every time we go, he would have to check her weight before he could give her the antibiotic or whatever she was taking, because that's how that they do the dosages. So just remember, do your research, look at all of that, dig into it. Don't put your family at risk by doing any of this kind of stuff. Do your research. So anyways, if you've made wild lettuce tincture, or if you take it for pain relief, let me know what you think. Let me know if it helps. If you have any comments about dosing, if you have any comments about other things that you think would be a good addition to my herbal medicine cabinet, leave a comment down below. That would be great. Anyways, I hope y'all have a fantastic day, and we've got some things coming up, some new additions to the homestead that I'm really excited about. Hopefully I'll be able, this weekend coming up is going to be Memorial Weekend, and y'all, I haven't gotten my garden in. Tomato plants, I showed you tomatoes in the video. I've got potatoes back there. I got them in like over a month ago. We've gotten so much rain in Kentucky, and I've been traveling so much recently. I am my garden in. So I'm going to be off 4 days this weekend, and I'm hoping to get my garden in. Pray for no rain. That's awful. I shouldn't say that. We need rain, right? We live off the land. We got to have rain. Nix that. Don't not pray for rain. But how about we pray for a sunny day so I can get my garden in? Maybe that'll work. But I've got some videos coming up to show some, you know, new additions and everything and things going on around here. And I really appreciate all y'all stopping by and checking out our channel. Yeah, so have a great Memorial Weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. One other thing I forgot to tell you, rabbits can eat prickly lettuce. It's great for their gut. So I put some in there for the girls and the boys. Yeah, God bless you. Have a great day.